Hey guys, I recently had a conversation with this really lovely woman, and we were talking about a little bit about what we each do in our coaching business. And I spoke about the fact that I do inner child healing with my clients, and how powerful it is. So I expressed what it is, and when I was done talking with her, it was suggested that I make a video about it. So this is what this video is going to be about. It's about exactly what inner child healing is and how I do it with my clients, and I can do it in groups as well, and the powerful impact that it has on your life. So inner child healing is tapping into the child within you that needs healing. So at any age of your life, you have moments where your physical body had maybe experienced trauma, where you've emotionally experienced pain or suffering, grief. I mean, the list goes on. And your body will store those memories. Your subconscious will store it, and the spirit of that child within you will store it and remember it until you're able to heal it. Okay? So, for example, if you suffered from, asthma as a child, and you had severe asthma attacks that debilitated you from exploring the world and having fun like a child, you will remember that as an adult and be triggered by these experiences of being out of breath, or having fear that you're going to have an attack, or maybe you've already healed that asthma within you, but anytime you're out of breath, you have anxiety, so you avoid exercise. So this is just an example. Maybe you were hit as a child, and the physical experience around it, you've stored it. That inner child remembers that pain, and as an adult, you'll avoid situations with people who invoke the person's energy that hit you as a child. So, or you might be married, and your partner might have similar traits as the person who hit you, even though they don't hit you and they're not that person, and they may trigger that pain within you. So it turns up in your relationship as stress and tension in that relationship. Okay, so now this is what I do. When I have clients who come to me in needing coaching, whether it's just a one-off session where they want to heal something in them, or if they want ongoing sessions for their business or themselves. So remember, business, you are the person in the business that is the face of the business. You are your brand. So naturally, any pain or trauma or suffering that you've experienced will show up in your business subconsciously. And in your relationships, that as well will show up, okay? So when you work with me, I will do inner child work on pretty much all of my clients that work with me regularly, because those children will show up to be healed. I get my clients to tap into how old the child is, and I do that through meditative, relaxed state, and teaching my clients to trust their body's wisdom and tap in and ask how old that child is. Now, when I do this work, it is mind-blowing at how many people have never heard of it, but mind-blowing in the sense that their lives completely change when they've had this experience. So if you're an adult and you've gone through trauma or pain, I use the same techniques. So I can actually psychically, intuitively tap into your physical body, and I will ask your physical body questions when I work with you. And when we're doing inner child work, I will tap into the child within you that needs the assistance, and I will ask you to tell me how old that child is, even though I've already tapped in. And sometimes there's two ages that need to be dealt with. So in shamanism, when I have done some training in shamanism, the ancestral trainings, But when I've worked with a shaman, she actually did the healing on me, and I had my infant self and my 5-year-old self needed to be retrieved. So my soul had split off because I went through trauma at both those ages, and they had to be brought back into my body. And she had to sit and have a discussion with them to let them know that I'm an adult now and I can take care of them. So when I do this work, you have to be, it won't work unless that person you are today is willing and able to take care of those children and be responsible for them. And this works with addictions as well. 80% of addictions are caused from trauma as a child, and usually sexual abuse is one of those things that they've experienced. So I do work with addictions as well. And then you bring those children back to make you whole and to heal them, and you get to know them. You find out what their likes are, their dislikes, what it is that you're missing, and they will communicate back with you. So during these sessions with me, we will actually communicate with this beautiful inner child, this innocent, gorgeous, loving child that you have inside of you that feels neglected and scared or afraid and ignored, or whatever those emotions are coming up around that child's experience. And you will actually communicate with them and visit them frequently when they show up. And this form of healing, when you're doing it with the shaman, you actually go through a meditative journey. It's called journeying. And so I do these journeys when we're just sitting up and awake. And then after we're done, we destroy and uncreate any limiting beliefs around programming that you've experienced by that age. So if you were taught that you weren't enough, you weren't good enough unless you did something, we destroy and uncreate all of that, so you realize that you are enough. And the wisdom that comes from these inner children is absolutely beautiful, and it is absolutely life-changing. And sometimes I have to go back many layers with clients, and sometimes we just have to. So that is just one example of what I do as a healer and a coach. So if you want to book a session with me to just do inner child work, or you'd like to connect to work on an ongoing basis, I have some spaces available. I am at theresenadeau.com, and I would love to hear any input or feedback that you have regarding what I've just shared, and I welcome any questions that you have. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Big love. Bye.